Well, skies are cloudy across southwestern Louisiana and southeast Texas this afternoon. Some ominous looking clouds over to our west, but nothing severe, nothing rural heavy, but certainly lots of clouds out there on our Roofing 911 Skycam network over in Lake Charles. They've had some 1/2 to 1 inch totals over there. Lakes area, you've seen about 1 to 2 inches in spots from earlier this morning. Port Arthur close to 1 inch, but rest of the area just sprinkles. Light to moderate rain. That's been about it. It has been quiet morning. There's some light rain still going on. The slick Interstate 10 there at Orange on our Roofing 911 Skycam network, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. And this light rain, which we'll show you in just a few minutes on radar, is actually moving out of the area. So we'll get a break in the rain for several hours. May see some more redevelopment coming up later this afternoon, as we may get a little bit of heating this afternoon. We'll see some more showers and storms kind of redevelop. Not a huge coverage, but we'll see some more redeveloping this afternoon. So that area of low pressure we were watching for several days in the eastern Gulf of Mexico worked westward in Louisiana. Never thought it would develop. There was just too much wind shear, number one, and then its proximity to land. So that's good news that it never developed, but it's certainly given us a lot of moisture. And boy, that is really helping us out on our temperatures this afternoon on our Roofing 911 Skycam network here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packard and Apray. Overcast conditions, a few sprinkles in around Beaumont. In fact, Beaumont hasn't even seen 1/10 of an inch of rain so far today. A lot of the area, not a drop. 78, but boy, it is really helping us out on those temperatures. That is one thing about the clouds and some of the light to moderate rain we've had across southeast Texas helping us out. Don't see this very often in July with temperatures in the 70s. And up in Jasper, our Roofing 911 Skycam network, still some light to moderate rain going on up in the lakes area. And that's actually where some of the heavier showers were this morning, was up in the lakes. Saw some 1 to 2 inch rains up there, and temperatures are in the mid 70s, 75 degrees, with that light to moderate rain falling in Jasper late this morning, and that'll continue into this afternoon, although on a weakening trend. Very light stuff. In fact, there are very few, if any, lightning strikes even this morning on into the late morning hours. Mainly just light to moderate rain, which we'll take, because like I said, temperature wise, you don't see this very often in the month of July. And outside our 12 studios, overcast conditions. There's been a few sprinkles in Beaumont. That's been about it. We're running at 78 degrees here, and I think we'll top out, though. We will reach the 80s, probably lower 80s. There could be a few isolated spots that hit the mid 80s coming up this afternoon, but we'll stay away from the 90s, that's for sure. Break in the rain for the next few hours coming up. May see a few more light to moderate showers redevelop later today after around 3 or 4 o'clock into this evening. Then it looks fairly quiet overnight, and then as we head into tomorrow, we're back to our normal scattering of showers and thunderstorms we would normally see in the summertime. And your allergy report, actually not too bad. The tree and the grass in the 0 to low category. Now the mold's still pretty elevated due to the recent rains we've had, but allergy report in pretty good shape. Now this may go up a little bit over the next couple of days, especially the mold. Temperatures, 81 at the airport in Beaumont. That may be a little bit warm there. Most of the area is in the 70s. Now Houston, you've had a few peaks of sun and no rain at all. You're in the mid 80s. Lake Charles has had some light rain. They're at 75 degrees there. And don't forget to text us if you have any weather questions at 409-749-9302. We'll check the phone coming up before we end the broadcast here in about 10 or 11 minutes. But boy, nice temperature wise across the area, with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, and we'll top out probably in the lower 80s coming up this afternoon. Now let's take a look at radar. Just not much left. A few sprinkles in Orange County, some light to moderate showers in Calcasieu Parish. Things are winding down in the lakes, and once again had some 1 to 2 inch rains up there. So actually things are pretty quiet. What's left of that area of low pressure now off to the northwest in the lakes, it's moving away. It'll continue to weaken as it does so, and as it does, our rain coverages will continue to decrease as well. Notice to our south and to our west, it's pretty quiet. Now, like I said, later today, we may see some additional showers redeveloping after around 3 or 4 o'clock. Not too bad at all. Put this into motion. You see, we had some moderate rain earlier in mid-county. That dropped about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. That was about it around Nederland, Port Neches. into Calcasieu Parish. And you can see how things have been working northward and weakening across southeast Texas and southwestern Louisiana. So that is certainly some good news. Kind of zooming in on those moderate shower just south of Vinton there, pretty light stuff. And notice here in the triangle, just a few sprinkles left east of Vidor. That's it. Pretty good shape. Actually, we received some good news today after all, keeping those temperatures in the 70s to lower 80s across southeast Texas. Notice it's quiet along the coast, on over toward Taylor's Landing, China, Nome. You're pretty quiet at the present time. Let's go up to the lakes area. And that's where the best coverage of rain's actually been in the lakes. Burkeville still seeing some moderate rain there. On up toward Milam, Hemp Hill, Toledo Bend here. There's Brada, Zavala. They've had some pretty good rain. Some 1 to 2 inch rains in this part of the lakes area, especially the northern portions of the lakes area this afternoon. And even this area, things will begin to wind down over the next 30 minutes to 1 hour. Notice the rains continuing around Lufkin, Diboll, on up toward Wells and Nacogdoches as well. All right, satellite view here, of course, we've been watching weak low pressure the last several days. It finally worked inland over Louisiana. It's losing its identity. The mid-level circulation we've had over southeast Texas is now moving to the northwest. And as it does, it takes energy with it, and it'll eventually take the moisture with it coming up beginning as early as tomorrow. We'll still have some low-level moisture tomorrow, but as we'll show you in just a moment, the mid-atmosphere will begin to dry out tomorrow. North Texas, West Texas, lots of sunshine, which is good news for the hill country. In the southwest Texas, looking pretty good. And this moisture we have over us will not affect the hill country, so that's certainly some good news there. Notice off to our east, still enough low-level moisture for some scattered thunderstorms across eastern Mississippi into Alabama this afternoon. So I can ask for a better day of weather temperature-wise. There's the broad low in the mid-atmosphere showing up at 10,000 feet. And notice we have, of course, plenty of moisture today, but as we head into tomorrow, the mid-levels begin to dry out. That low moves away. Notice the brown shading here. That is much drier air at 10,000 feet. We'll still have some low-level moisture tomorrow, so we'll give it a 30 to 40% coverage of scattered summer-type showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, like we would normally see on a normal day. But by Sunday, it'll be 10% or less. That brown color gets even darker. That's even drier air on into late Sunday, and this is Monday morning, so we're not expecting any rain at all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Zero coverage is expected, and then a slight chance returning by late Thursday of next week. We'll show you that in just a moment. Notice the wind flow out of the southeast and the mid-atmosphere off the Gulf. But boy, that's dry air coming in next week. It's gonna be hot too. We're talking probably low to mid 90s at least. Could be some 96s here and there coming up, especially by Wednesday. And notice, speaking of Wednesday, there's that heat dome, the ridge extending from Tennessee back down into Texas, flow around that out of the northeast. What we'll be watching is another disturbance in the upper atmosphere, kind of cut off from a trough off the Carolinas. That's going to work to the southwest. High pressure will kind of split. We'll have one high east of Florida and one back over the southwest, so the high will weaken along the northern Gulf Coast, and there will be another upper level disturbance coming in. And we'll have to watch this one as well. You know, if all the conditions come together, we could see some development in the Gulf late next week. Of course, a lot of things have to come together. That's still a week out. No indication of that yet, but we'll see an increase in rain again toward late Thursday and Friday of next week as this next system works in from the east and southeast. So we'll have some on and off rain today, a few scattered storms tomorrow, dry Sunday through much of next week, but by the end of next week, we'll be watching another disturbance in the Gulf working to the west. It is a possibility a week from today. Now, additional rainfall between now and let's say tomorrow night, not a whole lot, half an inch or less, but like I said, we'll see some more showers developing this afternoon here and there, especially from Interstate 10 south. So we'll keep those rain coverages going. But between now and tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, another half to 1 inch possible in the lakes, but less than that in the triangle, because the showers and storms tomorrow will be your typical summer type showers and storms scattered around at 30 to 40%. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast. You can see the twist in the atmosphere as that low weakens and moves out. This is at 3:30 this afternoon. Things still pretty quiet, maybe some redevelopment along the coast, and there could be some redevelopment in around the triangle as well. So we'll keep the coverages pretty high again for later today into this evening. Then it looks pretty quiet, as you'll see here, overnight. And then as we head into the morning hours tomorrow, 70s for lows, a few showers developing in the morning. Once again, we'll have low-level moisture in place tomorrow, 5,000 feet lower. We'll have plenty of moisture. It's a loft. It starts drying tomorrow, so there'll still be a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around for your Saturday at 30 to 40%, and those will move northward into the lakes area. Your marine forecast: west winds up to about 10 knots, seas only around a foot, just not much wind out there. Next low tide tomorrow morning at 3:38. Now, if you plan on heading up to the lakes tomorrow, Sam Rayburn, that fishing forecast tomorrow, there will be some scattered storms in the afternoon at a 40% coverage up there. Light south winds, a little bit warmer, may reach the lower 90s in the afternoon up in the lakes area tomorrow. Rest of the day, on and off rain. We'll get a big break for a few hours here coming up, though. Highs in the lower 80s with a light westerly wind. Now, as we head into tonight, rain coverage this evening is around 30%. Low temperatures will be in the lower 70s to mid 70s in the lakes, mid to upper 70s here in the triangle with light southerly winds. So we'll have some showers this evening, kind of redeveloping early this evening. Then we get a break overnight. And then, of course, the scattering coming up for tomorrow. We'll put it at 40% for tomorrow, maybe a little bit less. We'll look at new data this afternoon. But I can tell you Sunday through most of Thursday of next week looks hot and dry. Low 90s, but we eventually get back to the mid 90s on Tuesday. Remember that high pressure ridge, the heat dome building back in with dry air, maybe as high as 95, 96 on Wednesday. Then the high kind of shifts and splits a little bit Thursday of next week, and we have that next disturbance to watch late Thursday and Friday of next week. So that's pretty much how it looks on the forecast coming up over the next 7 days. And we'll check our phone line to see if we've gotten any messages. Let's see if we've gotten any this morning. I know a lot of folks are happy that we haven't seen a whole lot of rainfall as far as heavy rains. That was good. That was a possibility today, though. Anytime you got a lingering tropical low, even though it was weak and weakening, you know, those things hang around at night, sometimes can cause problems. You saw what happened, you know, in the hill country last week and the week before. So very thankful here that we didn't have any flooding type rains overnight and this morning. Some 1 to 2 inch rains, of course, up in the lakes area. So if you have outdoor plans tomorrow, don't let that 40% scare you. We'll see a little more sun. It'll be more hot and humid. And once again, a few hit and miss scattered thunderstorms like we normally see in the summertime at 40%. Sunday, hot and dry, low 90s, 75 the low most of next week, as we showed you with high pressure and dry air. Hot and dry for much of next week. And then those rain chances returning possibly as early as late Thursday of next week. Of course, we'll have some new data to look at later this afternoon. We'll have an updated 7-day forecast, you know, coming up at 4 o'clock and then again at 5 and 6. But notice those low temperatures, they stay warm and muggy. We're talking lower to mid 70s across the area. In fact, maybe some mid to upper 70s across portions of the lakes area as well. Been pretty warm at night the last couple of nights. So rest of today, on and off, mainly just light to moderate rain. Could pick